Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today's video is going to be on sweet fragrances for those sweet lovers out there. So if you're interested in seeing what the most sweet fragrances from my collection are, then stay tuned. Also, if you haven't subscribed, definitely consider doing so because we do talk a lot about fragrances on this channel and you won't want to miss anything. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so today's video, as you can see from the title, is geared toward those people who love sweet fragrances. I've had a couple of people request to do a video about sweet fragrances, and this is the time of year when all of us are starting to wear those slightly more gourmand, super sweet perfumes, at least up here in Canada. So I have gathered together what I think are the most sweet fragrances from my collection, and we're gonna kind of try to go in order from the least sweet to the most sweet, but to be very honest, most of these are just, all of them are very, very super sweet. There might be one or two that stand out from the rest, and there's also one in here that I haven't discussed yet. So we will start off with what I think is probably the least sweet from the batch, and we're just gonna work our way up to the most sweet. So starting with Guerlain's La Petite Robe Noir Intense, this is probably the least sweet of the batch. That being said, this is still a very, very sweet perfume. I've spoken about this one quite a few times. As you can see, I haven't really worn it much, but this remains one of my favorites in my collection. It's also one of the ones I've had for the longest. This is a very elevated, big girl, blueberry, cotton candy kind of a scent. It doesn't have your typical celebrity fragrance cotton candy, sweet enough to eat but disappears in half an hour kind of a vibe. This one actually lasts for quite a long time. This one has bergamot in it, and I can't recall all of the other notes off the top of my head, but I will put them on the screen for you. For some reason, that bergamot really sticks out. I think it's because when you first spray this, it does have quite a nice, punchy, almost like citrusy opening. It really grabs your attention, and it smells elevated. Like, it smells more expensive than your typical sweet cotton candy fragrance. I love this perfume. It is so sultry and so seductive, and at the same time I think it does have a bit of a special occasion kind of a vibe. Maybe that's because of the name. Maybe it's because they have a picture of a black dress on the back. This is the type of fragrance I would wear when I'm wearing a cocktail dress of some sort and going out for drinks, or not that I drink, but going out in the evening, maybe to a nice restaurant, something when I want to be a little bit more elevated and a little bit more glamorous, I guess, but still very sweet and very seductive. Absolutely beautiful, and honestly, you guys, this one does not do it justice in the store. You really have to wear it on your skin and give it a little bit of time to change as well. It's definitely not a linear scent. If you were to just spray this on paper in the store or smell the atomizer, you might just think it was like a generic sweet perfume. You really have to spray it on your skin to get the full picture. So that is probably the least sweet of all of these, but still very sweet. La Petite Robe Noir Intense from Guerlain. And the next least sweet one, which, believe it or not, is still incredibly sweet for being one of the lesser sweet ones. This is Girl of Now from Elie Saab, and this one is a very popular one. It's kind of a cult favorite. I bought this one actually back in the day when it first came out from a duty-free shop, and it was love at first sniff for me. And then in the future, like probably about a year after, I did end up selling it or giving it away because I felt it was almost too sweet for me. So, but it truly is a really beautiful scent, and it's kind of, I feel like it's almost a must-have. I know there's some people out there who don't care for this fragrance. I absolutely love it. I also really like the bottle. Look at the bottle. I love those little like blue petal things. I'm not really sure what they are, but I absolutely love this bottle. So yeah, this is a super sweet fragrance, but what's special about this one is it's also very nutty. So this has almond, it has pistachio, it has tonka bean. It opens up with some pear and some mandarin orange, which gives it like a very fruity, sweet opening. It also has cashmere in it as well, and tonka bean. So it is kind of a cozy, soft, smooth, nutty, but still very, very sweet fragrance. It's one of a kind. It's definitely a must smell. Probably one of the safer blind buys for people who are sweet lovers. I don't think you can really go wrong. If you love sweet fragrances, you probably will really enjoy this one. Yeah, I really like it. And this one gets pretty good reviews from men as well. I know that this has popped up in a lot of sexiest perfumes for women type of videos. I really like it. It's an easy dumb reach, grab and go when I want to smell pretty, feminine, sweet, and just all around good. This is just a very quick, easy reach for me. So that is number 2 on our sweet list. That is Girl of Now from Elie Saab. The next one is Juicy Couture's Gold Couture, and believe it or not, again, this is one of the less sweet ones on my list and still very, very sweet. So that tells you how sweet these fragrances are. I really like this perfume. This one has been on, again, a lot of women's sexiest perfumes for women's list. I think I bought this one after finally hearing Jeremy Fragrance talk about it for like the 20th time. I finally was like, fine, I will go out and get it, even though I don't like the Juicy Couture fragrances. This is really, to me, it's almost a little bit juvenile, but you know what? This is probably the most elevated one out of all of the Vie Belle Juicy line. I have smelled all of them. And all of them are kind of like along the same lines, but this one has a lot of caramel. This one has more caramel than any of the other ones. And this one to me is almost more mature than all of the other ones. Comment below and let me know if you feel the same way. I actually really, really like this fragrance. This also, I think, has some berries in it. I'm not sure what all else is in it. I will put the notes up on the screen for you. And the reason I really like this one and keep it around is actually because my significant other really, really likes this on me. He finds it to be super sexy. This is one of his absolute favorite fragrances on me. Yeah, and it's kind of just earned a reputation in my perfume collection as being like a go-to intimate fragrance for me. I like it. So this is kind of like a must-have for me, and I think I will probably always have a bottle of this in my collection. I've actually worn this a lot over the last few months. So that is number 3 on our sweet list. That is Gold Couture from Juicy Couture. The 4th one on the list is Love by Kilian, and I don't know if you guys have smelled this one before. It's quite popular, but it's also a little bit on the pricier side, so I don't think quite as many people have this one. This one is newer to my collection, and I did buy this blindly, and it is love at first sniff. Absolutely love it. It was worth every penny. This is a super sweet fragrance as well, but this one again has a nature about it that lets you know it's not your typical everyday celebrity scent. This does have most prominent notes of caramel, sugar, and vanilla. It also has some white florals. It has bergamot. It's got some pink pepper. It has iris. So there is a little bit of a powderiness to it. There is a touch of like a citrusy opening, like very, very tiny when you first spray it. Again, it's kind of like the La Petite Robe Noir Intense in the fact that they don't smell the same, but it has that quality about it that, yes, it's a super sweet fragrance, but not your typical like celebrity-esque fragrance. It's delicious. This is the one that is kind of famous for Rihanna wearing it, I think, to the Grammys, and people said she was the best smelling person at the Grammys. And that was kind of what did it for me. I was like, if it's good enough for Rihanna, it's good enough for me. So I absolutely love this one, you guys. Very, very sweet, amazing performance, fills a room. The sillage from this is incredible. Oh my gosh, it's like, it's so sweet and so dense and so thick and so potent, really, really strong. I also love the bottle. It's like probably one of my favorite ones in my collection. And yeah, very sexy. I think also a big hit with the men. Unfortunately, I've only had this for a couple weeks. I haven't had the opportunity to actually try it out in any sort of date night or anything like that, but I'm really excited to do that and give you guys an update. I have worn it out and about though, and it does last forever. And I know that people can smell it on me because I can still smell it on myself throughout the day as I'm getting in and out of the car, in and out of my house. So that is the 4th one on our list, Kilian Love. Number 5 on our list is a flanker of La Vie Belle from Lancome. Of course, we were going to throw a La Vie Belle in here because those fragrances are known for being very, very sweet. This is the Eclat version. So this is what I describe as being the original La Vie Belle's sweeter, sexier sister. So even though the original La Vie Belle was super, super sweet, almost to the point that some people found it suffocating or nauseating or like just too much, I personally really, really like the original La Vie Belle. I just think I wore too much of it and I ended up having to remove it from my collection because I just didn't think I was going to grab for it much anymore. And I did prefer to wear this one. So again, I have so many perfumes and I just started kind of collecting perfumes this year, so it doesn't look like I've put a big dent in this one. But this one, you guys, is also a really easy grab and go when you want to smell sweet and kind of seductive and just very, very feminine. So this one does open with a little bit of mandarin and bergamot. There is also some white flowers. There's still a little bit of iris in here, so it has a touch of powderiness, but not nearly to the extent of the original Vie Belle. This one also has sandalwood, vanilla, and a little bit of patchouli. So very sweet, very white floral. It has orange blossom, which is your typical sexy, sweet floral. Again, that bergamot just helps this one be a little bit more elevated and not just pure sweetness. It does have a little bit of a punchy kind of an opening, which I really like. It smells, I don't know, it has like a really sexy vibe about it. Okay, so I just sprayed it on my hand here again just to kind of refresh my memory. I really like this fragrance, you guys. Oh, it's really, really nice. If the original Vie Belle was too sweet for you and you want something with a little bit more character, a little bit zestier, a little bit not so powdery, sickeningly sweet, something with, like I say, a little bit more of a sex appeal to it, this one is phenomenal. This one would be like the more evening date appropriate version of the Vie Belle, and also I think this one is special enough and different enough, it's worth having. Like I say, I love the Vie Belle line. This one to me is the best one that I have tried out of all of them. I think there's a couple, there's one that I haven't tried, and that is the Intensement, I'm not sure how you say it. I would really like to smell that one because I hear really, really good things about it, but this one is, yeah, this one is just like super sexy white floral sweet. Very, very good, and I highly recommend it if you are a sweet lover. So I actually have 2 left in our lineup, and actually the last 2 are probably tied for sweetness, but I thought I would talk about Marc Jacobs Decadence first and leave the new one in my collection for last. So this one is super sweet. I'm sure that you guys have smelt it. It's quite popular. It's been around for a little while. Yeah, I think everybody is familiar with this one. I personally love it. It's, again, one that when I first smelt it, I almost thought it was way too sweet for me. This is plum amber, and it also has vetiver. It has a few other notes in there, but it is primarily a very green smelling, sweet, plummy amber scent. The name Decadence is perfect. It is super decadent. It is super sultry, super sweet, very gourmandy, and at the same time very green and very earthy and very woody. I absolutely love this fragrance. I'm not a huge fan of the bottle. I think I'm starting to like the bottle. I'm not sure. I like the snake print idea, or alligator. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's supposed to be snake print. But I think that it matches the fragrance very well. I really like wearing this, especially in cooler nights with a sweater, like a cashmere sweater, but also you could definitely wear this for like a sultry date night. Younger people, this would be good for the club. It definitely stands out and fills a room, and it's not going to be overpowered by anybody who is beside you. Definitely has a very, very strong performance, really good sillage, really good projection, really good lasting power. Just gonna give it a sniff again to refresh my memory. Yeah, it's really, really good. I love this fragrance, you guys. I find it quite addictive. It's one that I just love, love, love. Like, it's on one of my top favorite to come and sniff list out of all my perfumes, and definitely super sweet. So I don't think it's really a safe blind buy. It's kind of special. It's kind of unique. I would definitely say smell it before you buy it. And I smelt it before I bought it, and even after I brought it home, I was still not sure I could wear it because it was so sweet. So definitely try before you buy. And that is number 6 on our list, Marc Jacobs Decadence. And the most sweet one on this entire list is Ralph Lauren Tender Romance. This one I think is very under talked about and really not that popular. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. And for me, I think that the Ralph Lauren, however you'd like to say it, fragrances are, for me, they have a little bit of a 90s vibe. And I think because of that, that's why I don't really tend to go and smell a lot of them. I also don't really watch a lot of mainstream television, so I probably don't see any of the advertisements that come out for these fragrances. I'm not even sure when Tender Romance came out. I do have to give credit where credit is due. I purchased this because of the channel The Top Note. She had mentioned it in one of her videos that she really liked to wear this to bed, and actually her bottle was like 3/4 gone. And she has a very good taste in perfumes, and she has quite a large selection, so that definitely prompted me to go to my closest Shoppers Drug Mart and try this out. And I tried it out and wore it on my skin and left the store, and as soon as I left the store shower with it on my skin, and I kind of got that sillage coming up as it kind of caught on the air outside. I just thought it was so pretty and so feminine, and I had to go back and get myself a bottle. So like I say, this is a very under talked about fragrance, very, very sweet. Some people could argue that some of the ones on that tray might be sweeter. This one is still very, very sweet though, and to me it is almost too sweet at times. So this has notes of pear, benzoin, cashmerean. This has ginger. It has a few white florals, including lily, magnolia, and jasmine. So this is a very, very feminine, floral, sweet, pretty fragrance. If you're looking for something to make you smell like a quintessential pretty girl, just your pretty girl perfume, this is a very good go-to. This is like your classic white floral, a little bit fruity with some more sultry, kind of warm, cozy, benzoin, cashmerean kind of a dry down. It does have a really pretty, soft, gorgeous dry down. I love the dry down almost as much as I like the opening. Definitely changes. It is not a linear scent. A lot of people have compared this to Juicy Couture's Vie Belle Juicy, the original one, and actually that was the first thing that it reminded me of when I first sprayed it. Was it reminded me of Vie Belle Juicy, the original. You might not expect that. Like, I was expecting it to be more of a grown-up big girl, less sweet fragrance, and it definitely does have more of a sweet, youthful, flirtatious vibe. I think tender romance almost is misleading because I expected it to be a lot softer, more I guess kind of mature floral. And yeah, like I say, it's definitely kind of fun and sweet, very sexy, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And like I say, I think it is a little bit underrated, a little bit under talked about. I'm really, really happy to have this one in my collection. I actually wore it on myself yesterday, and I had sprayed it on myself at about dinner time, and by about 10:30 p.m. it was still quite, like, I could still pick it up on myself. Just getting out of the car, walking into the house, I could still catch it on myself, and it was beautiful. And it just smells very pretty, very feminine, floral, sweet, pretty. It's just beautiful. It's just a really, really nice classic perfume. It's a classic smelling women's perfume, so highly recommend it. It's also fairly affordable. It's fairly easy to find. Yeah, and I think it's the only Ralph Lauren fragrance that is currently in my collection. So definitely check it out if you are a sweet lover like myself. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you found it enjoyable. Please let me know down below what your favorite sweet fragrances are, and do head on over and follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, because I do share a lot of things on there that you're not going to see here on YouTube. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye for now.